Welcome to Here's My Story. I'm Tess. My grandfather's sudden death shocked the whole family. After the funeral, we went to our lawyer's office for the reading of the will. Grandpa had made a video, just as was expected of him. Seeing him in a Dracula costume on the screen made us all laugh. This gesture reflected his sense of humor perfectly. My dear children and grandchildren, I thought I was immortal like Dracula, but if you're watching this video, I'm apparently not. Since I can't take my $20 million to the world beyond this one, I must leave it to you. But don't get too excited. If you want to inherit my fortune, you need to earn it. My dear grandchildren, Tess, Joel, and Kevin, I rented the city's most famous haunted house for you. You will spend a night with the ghosts in the house. Your time will begin at midnight. No internet, phones, or any electronic devices are allowed. The door and the windows of the house will be locked. The entrance door will open twice. First at 3 a.m., then at 5 a.m., and anyone who wants to leave can go. Only the ones that stay until dawn will benefit from my fortune. If all three of you get scared and run, the entire sum will go to charity. Let's see which one of you is the bravest. I wish I were alive to witness this in person. This is ridiculous! Why would he do such a thing? My cousin Joel yelled. His mom, my aunt, said, Joel, honey, normally his money would have been divided into 3 between your 2 uncles and me. But this way we can get more of it. I think this is a great opportunity, and you're way too smart to believe in ghosts. Mom, ghosts are real. There are tons of ghost videos on YouTube, Joel said with a trembling voice. Kevin, who's my uncle's son, laughed. For $20 million, I would live among ghosts in that house for a year. Joel, I'm sure you'll stay with me until the morning, but I'm worried about Tess. I'm sure when the door opens at 3 a.m., she'll run to that house like the wind. Yeah, I'm sure she will, bro, Joel said with a smirk. My mom looked at me affectionately. Honey, I know you don't believe in this ghost nonsense, but still, you don't need to enter this competition if you don't want to. I was so annoyed at my cousins. Mom, I want to do it, but not for the money. I want to see Kevin and Joel run from that house, I responded. I got chills down my spine when we arrived at the haunted house my grandfather rented. The place looked creepy, even if I didn't believe in this kind of stuff. Joel, Kevin, and I walked inside exactly at midnight. When the giant door closed behind us, Joel went pale. God help me, why did I agree to this? He mumbled. Kevin said, Bro, there's nothing to be scared of. We just have to spend 6.5 hours here until sunrise. At that moment, an ear-splitting scream shook the house. We looked up in fear. It was a woman's voice coming from upstairs. Apparently, we weren't alone. I always thought these haunted houses were an urban myth. Was I wrong? Then we began hearing whispers. This time, the sounds were coming from somewhere other than upstairs. We were in the same room with the whisperers. Here! The ghosts are here! Joel screamed frantically, looking around. The worst part is, the whispers were becoming more apparent. Go away! Go! This house is ours! Go away! The ghosts were singing. Joel ran towards the door and began pounding it with all his might. Open the door! Get us out of here! I'm begging you to open the door! He yelled. Kevin tried to calm him down, but Joel had lost control. It's all because of Grandpa. I hate him. I hate my grandfather, he said as he paced around the room. I couldn't keep quiet any longer. We decided to come here. If you're looking for someone to blame, this is on you, I told him. We turned to him when Kevin said, Damn it, this is not the right time. What's going on? Not the right time for what? I asked. I need to go to the bathroom. This always happens when I get stressed. I need to go to the bathroom now, Kevin replied. I said, so go ahead. And he mumbled shyly, I can't see the bathroom. It's probably not a good idea to look for a bathroom in a haunted house by yourself. So I thought you guys said I'd be the first to run from this place. It sounds like you need my help to find a bathroom, I said with a laugh. My cousins and I climbed up the stairs. I showed Kevin the door to what I thought was the bathroom. Thank you, he said, and went in. Joel and I began waiting for him. We were startled when the lights suddenly went off. What are we gonna do now? Joel asked. We didn't have a flashlight or any matches with us. Thankfully, we got power back shortly after. As Joel and I looked at one another, we both audibly sighed. My cousin's eyes suddenly got bigger. I didn't get why he was so scared. He was pointing at the walls. I couldn't believe my eyes when I turned to look. The walls were covered with red ink that said, "Get out of our house." The walls had been clean when we arrived. The writings appeared following those few seconds when the lights had been off. Right at that second, we heard a scream from the bathroom. "Kevin, are you okay?" Joel said urgently, but there was no response. "Kevin!" Joel raised his voice. When there was no answer from Kevin for the second time, Joel opened the bathroom door. No one was in there, and the walls said, "Get out of our house." Suddenly, there was a loud noise in the house. It sounded like a gong striking the hour. Joel headed towards the stairs as he screamed, "It's 3! It's 3!" I went downstairs with him. It must indeed be 3 because the door was wide open. "Damn you, Grandpa! Damn you, Grandpa!" Joel kept saying as he ran out the door. He was the first one to run from the house. I, on the other hand, went back upstairs. I had to find Kevin, who was missing, and I had no intention of leaving so soon. I ran up the stairs. I opened and shut the room doors looking for Kevin, but he was nowhere to be found. When I walked into the last room, I noticed an old TV set there. On the screen, something was playing in black and white. When I looked closer, I saw a bed and Kevin lying on it. And an old lady was sitting right next to the bed. I got the chills. "Oh God, what is that?" I mumbled to myself. It was so scary. Kevin was staring at the woman, wild-eyed. I had to find the room Kevin was in, but I'd looked inside every room on this floor. I went downstairs. I began looking through all the rooms here. Finally, I found Kevin in one of them. When he saw me, he said, "Save me. This woman won't let me out," and started crying. Suddenly, there was a flash of lightning that lit up the room. The chair was now empty. The woman had disappeared. Kevin jumped up. He ran to the door. I was right behind him. It was summer, but there was a massive storm. We could hear the wind in every corner of the house. Lightning illuminated everything every time it struck. Kevin pounded on the house's main door and started screaming, "Get me out of here! I want to leave!" Then he looked at me desperately. "Tess, please help me. You can have Grandpa's fortune. Just get me out of here," he began begging me. "You know the door will open at 5. It's almost dawn. You can try to stay for a little longer instead of leaving now," I said to him encouragingly, but he wasn't listening. Kevin's fearful eyes had seen something behind me. When I turned around, I saw Grandpa. He was watching us with a gong in his hand. "Grandpa's ghost! He's here too!" Kevin yelled. Grandpa began hitting the gong. The door of the house opened wide. It looked like it was finally 5. Kevin was relieved when he saw the door open. "Joel and I pretended to love you for your money. Since Tess will get your money, I can speak honestly now. Grandpa, I hate you. I know for a fact that Joel hates you too. I never said this to your face, but at least I'm saying it to your ghost's face now," he said, running outside. The door shut behind him at once. Startled, I turned to my grandfather's ghost, but he wasn't there. Outside, the storm had calmed down. Inside, it was eerily quiet. I sat down on the floor. I began waiting anxiously. I was sleepy now. I tried to resist it, but finally, I dozed off. Tess. Somebody was calling me. I forced my eyes open. The sun was up. I blinked a few times because the light hurt my eyes. I saw him as my eyes adjusted to the light. My grandpa's ghost was smiling at me, which wasn't scary. He began talking to me in a soft voice. "Congratulations, dear. You're brave. I will set up a new will now, and you will get $10 million. The remaining 10 will be yours when I'm really dead." "When you're really dead?" I said in shock. "Yes, when I'm really dead," he said, and let out a big laugh. At that moment, we heard clapping, and people started walking in. I knew the woman at the front. It was the ghost sitting next to Kevin. "Let me introduce you to the FX team and actors that turned this old place into a haunted house. They are here from Hollywood. Normally, they make scary movies. They made a pretty good show for us." "Well, for you anyway," Grandpa explained. "Grandpa, was this all a show?" "No way, but it was also convincing. They made me believe in ghosts," I said to him, adding, "But why did you have to do this?" "Because I had to see Joel and Kevin for who they are. I organized myself a fake funeral for this. I knew they didn't love me. Thanks to this haunted house, my fortune will go to the only person that deserves it. That's you. I'm over 80 years old. Soon I might have a real funeral, but now Joel and Kevin won't get to have my money," he said and hugged me. We lost Grandpa 2 years after we had this conversation. I bought the haunted house after he passed. I live here with my family now because this house means a lot to me. Each corner I turn to, I remember that fantastic night and the most eccentric person in the world, my grandpa.